Well, Tottenham fans could be forgiven for thinking they are the unluckiest fans in the summer transfer window after missing out on Morgan Gibbs White. They also got the shocker that Eberechi Eze, whom they thought was heading to White Hart Lane, had also been stolen from them by Arsenal. So, fear not, Tottenham fans, for you are not alone. Transfer hijacking has a long history, leaving in its wake a trail of devastated, tortured fan bases who could only watch as the man they thought was heading to their team side suddenly joins another side and then excel. Believe it or not, Manchester City looked a realistic destination for Cristiano Ronaldo. At one stage, Roy Keane almost joined Blackburn. Willian completed the medical at Spurs, and yet none of these deals went through. So today, we look back on some of the most astonishing, memorable transfer hijackings from across the decades. So let's start with Cristiano Ronaldo then, shall we? Pep Guardiola identified Ronaldo as a striker to replace Sergio Aguero's goals at Manchester City, and then the player was ready to accept that offer until a call from Sir Alex Ferguson. He said to me, speaking in Ronaldo's words now, "It's impossible for you to join City." And I said, "Okay, boss." Though the return to Old Trafford from Juventus didn't ultimately work out, Fergie was proud of his intervention. It was a relief because I couldn't imagine him playing for Manchester City. I don't think anyone could, said Ferguson afterwards. Okay, another one is Luis Diaz to Liverpool in 2022. Tottenham were locked in talks with Porto over signing Diaz at the end of the January window before Liverpool brought forward their plan to hijack the player in the summer business swoop. The Merseyside team were aided by the Colombian winger preferring to join Joaquin Klopp's team, and he became a big favorite at Anfield, winning the Premier League title before moving on to Bayern Munich at the end of last season. What about Alan Shearer? Alan Shearer in 1996, Shearer would deny, he gave Manchester United any promises about signing, but was impressed enough by Sir Alex Ferguson to go house hunting in the city. Then Newcastle boss Kevin Keegan requested a second meeting, and Shearer decided to return home to the Northeast. The Premier League's record, scorer didn't win any trophies at St. James's Park, but has regularly said he never regretted his choice. He would also snub Fergie before as a young player, choosing to join Blackburn from Southampton in 1992. What about Robinho to Manchester City in 2008? On an incredible transfer deadline day, Manchester City signposted the future by announcing new owners from Abu Dhabi, who then immediately broke the British transfer record to sign Robinho for 31.5 million. Having ruled, the financial rules for so long, the move was a shock for Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich, who had set sights on the Brazilian winger. Robinho had looked set to move to West London, but Chelsea were unable to agree a fee with Real Madrid once the Spanish club realized City were prepared to go to new levels of investment. And then Benjamin Sesko to Manchester United in 2025, this summer. Newcastle United did all the running on Sesko and had agreed a £72 million deal with RB Leipzig before Manchester United made their late move, where Sesko preferred to join them. Once Ruben Amorim's club entered the bidding war at £74 million, it was game over. I completely feel for Newcastle this summer in the way a lot of players have also turned them down. So let's look at Alfredo Di Stefano, Barcelona, from Barcelona to Real Madrid. Di Stefano looks set to join Barcelona, but after a complex dispute, he signed for Real Madrid instead, becoming a club legend. The circumstances remain highly controversial till date. We all thought he was heading to Tottenham until Chelsea swooped in. William underwent a medical at Tottenham's training ground before Chelsea made a late move, convincing him to join Stamford Bridge. The Brazilian completed the medical at Tottenham to apparently rubber stamp his move from Ange Makashkala before Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich, edged on by manager Jose Mourinho, flexed their muscle. And Spurs really felt Chelsea's intervention was more to spite them than wanting the player. But William ended up a firm favourites at the club, winning the Premier League in 2015 and, of course, 2017. Paul Gascoigne is another one. We all thought he was heading to Manchester United, but Gaza told Sir Alex Ferguson he would sign for Manchester United from Newcastle. But while Fergie was on holiday, the player received a call from Spurs boss Terry Venables and changed his mind, later claiming the Londoners offered to buy his parents a house as part of the deal. Fergie was fuming. He didn't speak to me for 6 years, admitted Gascoigne afterwards. If I had signed for Manchester United, I would have been there for 12 years. The midfielder became a national hero for his performances at the 1990 World Cup for England, but a self-inflicted knee injury playing for Tottenham in the following year's FA Cup final triggered a decline in his fortune. Roy Keane. Kane shook hands on a deal with Blackburn, but Manchester United intervened before the paperwork was finalized. A phone call from Sir Alex Ferguson convinced Kane to join United instead. Kenny Dalglish led the chase for Kane after Nottingham Forest relegation, and the Irishman had shaken hands on that deal to take him to Blackburn before Fergie intervened 48 hours later for him to make a dramatic U-turn. I told Fergie I had shaken hands with Blackburn, and he said, "Don't worry about that." The midfielder flew to Manchester from Cork, and over a game of snooker with Fergie and his assistant Brian Kidd, decided to move to Old Trafford. It was really, really amazing. Moises Caicedo. What about Moises Caicedo? Liverpool, in a major financial move, Liverpool tabled a record bid for Caicedo, but Chelsea, who had been in longer negotiation, matched that offer, and Caicedo ultimately chose to join Chelsea instead. Jurgen Klopp regarded the acquisition of a world-class holding midfield player as the final piece in his title jigsaw, but missed out on Caicedo due to an unprecedented spending spree from new Chelsea owner Todd Boehly and the temptation for the South American to live in London. John Obi Mikel signed a contract with Manchester United, but Chelsea intervened after a complex legal battle involving FIFA. Chelsea paid a United compensation, and Mikel joined Chelsea instead. Mikhailo Mudryk, Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal were favourites. Arsenal were favourites to sign Mudryk, but Chelsea made a better financial offer, securing his transfer from Shakhtar Donetsk. David Silva, Lazio, Real Sociedad. After leaving Manchester City, Silva was reportedly set to join Lazio, but he made a last-minute decision to sign for Real Sociedad instead. And Emmanuel Petit, Tottenham and Arsenal. Petit was close to signing with Tottenham, but a late intervention from Arsene Wenger and Arsenal led him to join the Gunners instead. A story that has become part of the legend surrounding that transfer. Well, there you have it. Some of the most amazing, shocking transfer hijackings in the history of the game. Let us know in the comments down below which one is your top transfer hijacking, or which one did we leave out. Put down in the comment below, like the video and share, hit the share button, and of course subscribe to our channel for more content like this, and I'll see you soon.